Hi, welcome to a new video of mine. My name is Mirat, and in this video I would like to talk about superficiality, one of the greatest shadows of humanity. You see it everywhere where you look. Either if it's about advertisements, most advertisements are about how do you look? Will you look younger? Will you look more beautiful, more fresh? How does the car look? How will the car make you look? When you look at movies from the 60s, 70s, 80s, then everything was about beauty. They would look at a woman and say, "Ah, but you're so beautiful." It was the only thing they could say about a woman. The only compliment they could give a woman was, "You're so beautiful." Or make the horrible comment like, "But you're so beautiful, you should not waste your life with a person or with doing certain things, because now you're beautiful, so now you're worth something. Later on you will not be so beautiful anymore, you will be simply ugly, and then it doesn't matter, you can waste your life, it doesn't matter, it's not important. Only when you're beautiful, Or people would say, this guy is so lucky. He has such a beautiful woman, such a beautiful wife or girlfriend." Superficiality. The same you see in politics, even in the juridical system, the justice system in certain countries. When you look, for example, at the US, it's about the looks, it's about perception. So what do people see? It's about discrediting somebody or raising the credibility of somebody. It's not about facts, it's not about the content, it's not about anything in depth. It's not about how people feel, it's not about what is the truth. It's about how do things look. Honestly, I don't know what was so special about Marilyn Monroe. As far as I know, the only thing that I know about her is that she was blonde and people consider her to be super attractive. That's why she was famous. I honestly don't know what she was doing, if she was an actress, a singer, I don't know. I actually never came across any piece of art from her. Paintings of her, where she was represented, and humanity didn't change. Yes, now we talk about strong women when we talk about women, but still about beautiful or sexy. Actually, from the 90s we started more sexualizing the woman. It was not about beauty, but it was about sex. Fuckable or not fuckable. That was it basically. Piece of meat. You want to eat that piece of meat or you want to throw it away? Again, superficiality. And humanity is evolving, but from my perspective sometimes it is evolving very slowly. A lot of people are not even aware of how superficial they are. They're not aware that not looking for the depth of something, for example, connecting with another person on soul level, only connecting on how does a person look, how much money does the person have, how famous is the person, things like that. Or how much power does the person has over other people. That's all superficial. It's all what's on the outside of the person. It's not what is on the inside. It's the good person, it's the kind person. Is that the person who's in pain, who's troubled, who's suffering? Is it the person who's generous? Generosity is not having a lot of money and then giving part of it away, because that is easy. True generosity is in being there for others. If you have only one single piece of bread, you break it in half and you share it with somebody else. It's not about having a lot and then it's easy to give away a little bit, or to give a lot because you have so much more. All that is superficiality. The true nature of a person is inside. It's not only even the actions, because some people say, actions, what somebody has done. It's very easy to say that somebody did something great and somebody else did something not so great, something small. But if you don't put it in perspective, what did that person have? What could that person do? What did the person do with the amount of energy, substance, or resources that the person had? If Bill Gates gives away 10,000 euros to a charity, say, he gave 10,000 euros. Or maybe in his case, they would say, you should give 1,000,000 because he has so much. But if somebody who has a basic income and gives away 10 euros, and that leaves him 1 week with less food, and those 10 euros are worth much more than the 10,000 or the 1,000,000 that a very rich person gives. But that average person or poor person gave it from here. Gave it because he or she felt to give. I have been donating to charities for a very long period of time. It was easy when I was earning a lot of money. And at a certain moment I was earning very little and I had to cut everywhere my costs. But then if I would have something extra, I would give on that moment. There was a supermarket where I was buying every week, and then every few months there was a charity, I think it was the food bank was coming, and they were asking people to buy some extra stuff and putting it in the boxes, and they were even handing out lists like, okay, this is what we need for the kids. And then I simply decided to buy indeed extra stuff, or even look at the list like, okay, I'm buying this, I can put one extra for them. They didn't put that on the list, but that's actually quite healthy. Okay, let's see, where's a good one? Okay, that one, okay, let's put that one. And I would actually put a whole bag of stuff for them. I was not earning much, but I decided like, okay, maybe I'll lose some weight by eating less, but I'll help somebody else. It's a small effort, but it's an effort that comes from inside. When you connect with people, when you enter a space, if you're a little bit grounded, you can sense the people. And you know, like, I like that person, or that person, I won't go that direction. Or sometimes you just choose the direction and then you actually realize later, if you pay a little bit of attention, why you chose that direction. Because there are people who are more natural, who are more humane, who resonate more with you. Generally, it's not because they are the more beautiful people or the more rich people or the more powerful people. That is when you look and then you decide, I want to be with those because they look like this. Superficiality appears everywhere and is a big trap, and we are taught to be superficial. Why? Because you're more susceptible to manipulation. It's easier to manipulate somebody who's superficial. That's why Trump won the elections in America, because he's extremely superficial. He's throwing one-liners, and he's not the only one. We have, I call him the new Hitler of Holland, Geert Wilders. He's from a party which is about, he is very extreme right. And you had Haider in Austria, and you have many more people in almost every country now. You find people who are very much to the right, who are extremists, who want segregation, want discrimination. In certain countries they want white power over everything, and then in African countries they will want black power over everything, or the power of a certain group over another group. And what these people are doing, what you see in their propagandas, what you see in their speeches, what you see in whatever they advertise, it's very short-sighted comments. Like, Mexicans are rapists, they're drug dealers. I met myself Mexicans. They were not rapists, they were not drug dealers, they were not criminals. They were very kind people. I met people from all over the world. And yes, I met sometimes people who I didn't like, but in general people are okay. Here in Romania, where I live now, a lot of people are, the gypsies, they're bad, they're criminals, they're this, they're that, that. Yeah, some of them are. Some of them are having their own companies, are very regular people like everyone else, and there's nothing wrong with them. In Holland, back in the days, it was the people from Suriname, ex-colony from the Netherlands, and then it was the Turks. They were the bad ones, the criminals, those who were walking around with knives and stabbing everyone, the stabbers, the knife stabbers. And then became the Moroccans. They're the bad guys. And then of course, when I was living there, it was the Moroccans who were the group who was being attacked and who were, the ones responsible for all the bad things in the country. And of course, then you have some people who say, hey, I already have been condemned. They already labeled me. They put a stamp on my forehead that I'm a criminal. So why should I do an effort if it's easy for me to steal something when it's in front of me? They already said I'm a criminal. The police will already arrest me if there's something happening and they see me in the street. They will simply arrest me because I look Moroccan. So yeah. So of course you have people who do this. But you also have people who say, no, I will prove them wrong. Or I will simply ignore that bullshit. I have been discriminated in my life. Many times. For years. And I remember in one job, there was this guy who was a racist. Everyone knew it. And I decided I will simply salute him like I salute everyone when I come to work. Funny thing is that after a few months, the guy started greeting back. Or even greeting me first. Because I decided that I would not go down that path. I decided it was a human being like everyone else. He must have his reasons why he doesn't like people with a color, because he was very white and blonde and stereotype, white nationalist. Probably he's voting for that Nazi guy. But he started respecting me because I simply respected him as a human being. So, what do you want? What do you want with your life? How do you want to lead your life? How do you want people to react to you? That all starts with how do you react to yourself and to the world outside you. If you react from superficiality, like how do I look? Is my hair okay? Are my eyebrows fine? I need to take out all my eyebrows and then I will put a few lines and then I will look cool and sexy. And I should put fake things here and fake nails and fake this, fake that, and I should stuff some Botox in and straighten this and straighten that, and because then I will be cool. Well, people doing all this, people focusing on all this, they're super insecure. It's like people who are in public screaming at others. I was walking today, going to the market, and I saw this guy in front, within a group, and I visualized how I would go to him and give him a piece of paper which would say, screaming is a sign of fear. Being angry, anger comes from fear too. True strength is shown through calmness. I was thinking of giving him that and to see what would happen. But I kept walking. I was like, it's not my responsibility. He didn't ask for my help, so why would I go and help him? That's not superficiality, by the way. That's the opposite. A lot of people think, I should go and help the world. Help everyone. But if you help somebody who doesn't ask for help, it do not work. My girlfriend recently helped somebody who didn't ask for help, and that person went in total denial about everything she said and she suggested. Total denial. And yeah, that happens. It was her lesson. It was a reminder for her, because she kept telling me for the past few years since we know each other, like, stop helping people. Stop wanting to be the big helper. If they don't ask for help, you should not help, because it will not really help them. And I started learning this, and it was something I really had to change. So it took me time to really change this. And sometimes I'm still like tempted to do, because I can see that people are so close. I'm like, just look there and then you can excel. But it doesn't work. So, I mean, often you actually have the opposite effect. So for her, this was her moment to realize, like, I've been telling this to others and now I did it myself. Damn! But superficiality is wanting to be the cool person who's helping everyone. That is ego. When you don't have ego, you stay calm. Or when you don't let your ego, I mean, everyone has ego, but if you don't let your ego rule, then you stay calm and you observe. And it's okay to observe and to see the dynamics and see how different people grow in different ways, have different paths to walk. I got frustrated over a friend who was ahead of me when it came to personal development, spiritual development, and then suddenly went total opposite direction, into the mind, far away from the heart and from the soul, from feeling and acting from the head. It was all mind, 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 mind. But sometimes people are thrown back or take a step back into another direction because they still have something to finish there. So this friend of mine has some things to learn from that. Shortcuts don't work. Not in real life. Life will catch up with you. The things you think you have cut out will come back if you didn't deal with them. And superficiality is exactly that. This is another way of manifesting superficiality. Taking shortcuts to quickly arrive there. Why do you need to quickly arrive there? Why can you not just follow the path? I see that in traffic. People are so stressed and they want to cut you off just to end up being only the car in front of you, because then they speed like hell and then the traffic light goes red and then you peacefully come and you park next to them or behind them, and yeah. Or maybe you go next to them and the car in front of them happens to be very slow, or the engine breaks down and they're stuck behind and it goes on green and you go. And often there's a very good reason why you should not arrive 1 minute earlier. Sometimes not even a minute, sometimes it's 30 seconds that people gain, or not even. Or people who are speeding on these long distances and then they gain, on a full day of driving, they gain 15 minutes. But they took so many risks. Or they ended up with huge fines, or they just spent a lot more on the gasoline, because people are not in here. When you're doing these things, it means you're not in here, you're not feeling, you're not grounded, you're not in the moment, you're not aware of where you are and what life is presenting to you. I've been in traffic jams many times. Most of them led to something nice. They led, for example, to realizing that I had to call somebody and would have time to talk with that person, because I was in a traffic jam. I had nothing else to do, so I was having a very nice conversation with this person. Actually, on New Year's Eve I had a few nice conversations with people, because I had to drive back from where I was going to spend New Year's Eve, go back home to get some stuff and pick up some people. Well, I forgot to take my keys, so I ended up arriving home not being able to enter. So I drove further to pick up those friends, and this gave me actually time during the driving to call a few people. And then the part where I was not home, but I spent waiting in front of the last metro station of the city where I was picking up these friends, I had time to call an uncle of mine that I hadn't spoken to in 2 years. And we had a wonderful conversation about life and about what he was going to do and the initiatives he was taking, how he was going to dedicate his life to charity work. Because, yeah, he's taking his pension now. And yeah, that was beautiful. And that was possible because I had to drive back, because I thought I had to drive back to pick up some stuff that I had forgotten. And then I didn't have the key, so suddenly I had time for something else. And of course I was upset at first, like, oh, and I need to go to the bathroom, and I cannot, and I need to wait another hour, and But then when I let go, things popped up. And then I realized, hey, my uncle, let's call him. Let's see if he's available. And of course he had time on that moment. It was perfect timing. We talked for half an hour or more. That was by being in the moment. That was by being grounded. But when I was not, I was upset, I was frustrated, and probably not even paying attention to how I was driving and where I was going. So superficiality is linked to not being grounded. And that's why in the Circle of Open Hearts, an event that EB and I are organizing every 2 weeks, the next event will be dedicated to why it is so important to be grounded. It will help you not to be superficial, among other. So if you realize that you have been superficial, and all of us have been at a certain point, and some of us are more and some of us are less at certain moments, if you realize this, then you can start very easily focusing on grounding, being in the moment, which means automatically connecting more to this part of your body, which means opening your heart and connecting with people, connecting with the things that you are experiencing, connecting with the space you are in. And that's when things will change. Try it. And if you have any questions, go to my website and contact me if you're not connected yet on some social media. See you next video.